What is going on, guys? It's David from AquaOtter, and welcome back to another One Piece chapter review. This week we are talking about chapter 1011, The Code of Sweet Beans. But before we get started, man, oh man, do we have to talk about this color spread, because it might just be my favorite color spread in all 1000 chapters of One Piece. And that's saying something, because there's a lot. I really like this. Oda went buck wild, man. He just went, this week, they shared on Twitter like a bunch of, they do his like drawing process sometimes where they'll share videos of him doing that, and they did it for this one, and Oda had a bunch of really great ideas, and then he just kind of drew a big Nami and then went, you know what, screw it, Giant Nami. We're doing Giant Nami this week. So this color spread, for those of you who haven't seen it, it is all of the Straw Hats. It's another big like crew cover spread with like ice cream and like sweet treats and stuff, and it says it's difficult to think anything but pleasant thoughts while eating a soft serve. And dude, I love this so much. I really genuinely want to get it as like a poster that I can put. I have like a great spot. I'm literally looking, it's like right across from me right now. I have a great spot like right above my TV that I could put it there, and dude, I love it so much. We got Robin and Jinbei and Usopp and Luffy. They're all like in this big like bubble tea thing, like basically like as like a swimming pool, and we got Sanji and Zoro who are kind of looking at each other, and they've got like those pirouettes, and Zoro's got 3 of them that he's eating. We got Frankie in the foreground with a big soft serve cone, Chopper and Brook eating ice cream, and then we got a giant Nami in the back just licking a huge old ice cream cone. And man, I love it so much. It's so good. Go seek it out. But yeah, with that being said, let's get into talking about the chapter. So we start this chapter with an update on Kid and Killer, and we see Kid, and he's like, uh-oh, that can't be good. And Killer is like, yeah, oh man, that's one perky old bag. And on top of that, and Killer's like, that's enough talk. Like, we got to clear out of here, because in the background they can see that something has clearly happened, and we get to see like a decent view of it, and it is confirmed pretty soon, so I can talk about it right now. We do get to see like this big ball of lightning, and we know that she is creating another homie. At this point, it is unclear whether or not the homie is a complete ball of lightning. I'm sure that will be revealed a little bit later, but it wasn't fully revealed in this chapter. But Killer's just like, or Kid is just like, that's enough talk, let's get out of here. And they start running away. And he's like, wait a second, I thought we had captured the lightning already, as they're running away, because, they had captured Zeus up on the top of the roof. And we see Big Mom. She's got a big bowl of lightning in her hand, and she's like, time to test you out. Show me your power, Hera. Which I love so much, because here's, just calling on Greek mythology, Zeus, he went on a little spell. He went out, kind of had a little bit of an affair, was hanging around with another girl. So, when Zeus is out and he's being unreliable, he's being a little bit lazy, and he's off having affairs, who do you call to put him in check? You call his wife. You call his wife Hera. Well, his wife's sister. Greek mythology is weird. But anyway, so she yells out, show me your power, Hera. And we get to see it is a female homie, and she goes, oh ho ho, yes mama, and then she launches this attack called Fulgora, and it is a giant flash of lightning. We get to see, Kid and Killer's faces are illuminated by the lightning attack, and just a huge explosion. And then we cut immediately right back up to the roof, and we see the, like a little Faraday, the little metal cage that Kid has Zeus trapped in, and Zeus is yelling out, "Mama, what happened? Are you okay?" And then all the metal just falls away, and Zeus goes, "Oh, huh? It came loose," and he starts running off now, like, "Mama, where are you? I'm coming to save you now." And Law comments, "Oh, Kid's power must have weakened." And we actually see Law, he's trying to like carry Zoro, who is still just like passed out, like very injured from that last like all-out attack he did in chapter 1010. But so Law starts saying, Big Mom's gotten back to the castle then, we really don't want her to come searching for that cloud. I'm leaving you here alone, and I'm taking everything else, Straw Hat. And Luffy says, yeah, sure. And then we get pop. Law shambles him and Zoro out of there, and Zeus out of there. And it's just Luffy on the rooftop now with Kaido. We're getting that one-on-one fight, guys. We're getting that one-on-one fight that I said in the last chapter, and it is pretty much confirmed at this point. But so that last volley of attacks at the end of 10-10 that Luffy was doing, coating his fists and his sandals in Conqueror's Haki and like beating the crap out of Kaido, we actually see that did knock Kaido down. But so Kaido starts getting up and, you know, he's laughing and he just goes, I could tell you're enjoying yourself. You know, the more precarious the situation, the bigger you smile. And now I want to throw this in here. And I'm kind of glad that I took a few days to like digest this chapter, because I'll be honest, you know, I'll talk about it when we get to the end. There was a bit in this chapter that I wasn't really too keen on. So I wanted to like let that marinate, because I've been trying to keep myself a little bit positive about the reviews, because there's enough people out there. There's enough One Piece reviewers out there that will crap on the content, you know, when things happen that they don't like. So if that's what you're looking for, if you're looking for someone to come and say like, oh, I hated this, I didn't like that they did that, I can't believe the Oda would do that, that's not me. So I let myself marinate on it a few days, and I wanted to, you know, if I didn't like it, still, I was going to say that I didn't like it, but I didn't want to come in here hot and be like, this is garbage. So, but we'll get to that. That comes at the end of the chapter. But I'm glad I did that, because in the meantime that I did that, there was a editor's note that had been put out about specifically this panel, about specifically this line, the bigger you smile, because there's a little bit of a weird translation thing that happens here where it can really be translated either way. It's either the bigger you smile or the bigger you laugh. But specifically the in the Japanese, what the Japanese that is used for that line is it is the exact same Japanese that is used during the panel where Roger laughs when he gets the laugh tail. So it's very important there, and I like the problem is that there's really no good way to translate that specific phrasing in Japanese to English. So, I mean, like I said, it can be translated either way. It can be, you know, smile or laughter. But it is important, and very important, because this translation here kind of muddies the water here, that it is almost the fact that it is the exact same wording in the Japanese, in the original language, as it is when like I said back in that panel on Laugh Tale where Roger laughs, that is very, very important. And it's important because, you know, this whole, you know, latter half of these arcs, and actually even before then, you know, I would say, I was going to say like since chapter 1000, but even further back, we've been now like specifically honing in on these comparisons between Roger and Luffy, and this is just another really big one. And so I wanted to make sure, and like I said, I'm glad that I actually let myself marinate and think over this chapter before I recorded this and put it out, because I would have missed that otherwise. And it is, like I said, pretty pertinent. But anyway, so we see Luffy, we see Kaido, they're looking at each other. Luffy's got this big old smile. Kaido's got a big old smile. And we see now that Kaido is actually really enjoying himself, man. Like, he's having the time of his life. No one has really been able to give him a challenge like this in a while. And so he is, like, loving his life right now. And Kaido just smiles and is like, ha, is that right? And then they rush at each other, and dude, the paneling, the fight choreography here, like, it is amazing. Just going at each other. The fist comes in, the club comes in, boom, they're both Conqueror's Haki clashed up, and then we get to see, like, even more than in the last panel, that Roger Whitebeard moment where we get Kaido swinging that Kanabo, and we get Luffy with his foot, and then that slash of black lightning where their weapons, you know, the foot and the Kanabo are not even touching, and there's just that flash of black lightning between the two of them, and it's just like we get this huge shockwave that bursts off of the roof of Onigashima, and then we cut away. We go down to the third floor. We're checking in with Kid and Killer again, and before we get into what happens here, we're done on the rooftop now. We're done for a little while, and I feel pretty confident saying that. I know at the time that I'm recording, there are some spoilers floating around for chapter 1012. I do not read spoilers. I do not actively seek them out. I have just heard that they're out there, so I could be wrong, and if I am wrong, I will gladly admit that I'm wrong, but I think we are done. I think we're done on the rooftop for a little while. It's time to start going other places. You know, we're setting up a lot of stuff in the rest of this chapter, and I think there's more things on the on the like within the actual Onigashima and in the rest of the raid that we need to like start checking in on. Like what's Perospero up to? Like, that's just one example, but there's tons of other stuff. I think that we are good to stay away from the rooftop for a little while, and just kind of focus on everyone else. I would say probably maybe, if I had to guess, maybe we'll check back in on the rooftop around chapter 1015, maybe. I feel like that might be good. To like head back up there and just kind of like give a little update, but I don't think we're going back up there unless we're getting a Kaido flashback or we're actually going to be seeing the fight. And there's a lot of other stuff that needs to happen before we get that fight. So maybe we'll check back in like a few chapters, but I doubt we're going back up there for a little while. But anyway, moving on. So we actually get to see now that this hole that Big Mom blasted, that attack, it knocked Kid and Killer into the Skull Dome, and were actually knocked all the way to the 3rd floor, as I said, and the hole is so big, we actually get to see, Kid is like, oh, dang it, that thing really blasted us somewhere, that thing really blasted us, like, where are we? And Killer is like, oh, we're somewhere in the castle, she's not chasing, and he says, the hole it created is so big that she probably can't tell where we landed, and Kid is like, but she's not on this floor. And we see, because we actually do get to see like a little infographic of like the hole, and it blasted a hole through the Skull Dome, and it's so big that it's the 2nd and the 3rd floor that the hole, it takes up the entirety of the 2nd and the 3rd floor. So Kid and Killer are on the 3rd floor, and some of the Beast Pirates are kind of like standing up and they're seeing like, oh man, like Kid's here. And so Kid starts just booking it, and he's like, come on, like, let's hurry down. We can't let her team up with Kaido again. Like, if she thinks we're on the 2nd floor, we got to get down to the 2nd floor. We got to go. We have to take care of her. And the Beast Pirates now are like, oh, there's Kid, there's Killer. Like, we got to take them out. And we just hear, move, Straw Sword. And Hawkins is here. And I am so hyped for this, man, because Hawkins has been kind of like in the background of this, and I need more from the supernova that are in this arc. Like, I really, really need more from the supernova that are in this arc, because right now we have 8 supernova on Onigashima. We have the Rooftop 5, we have Drake, we have Apu, and we have Hawkins. And Hawkins has been in the background as well as Drake and Apu. And I really, really am hoping that we're going to see some great stuff out of all of the supernova here. Like, the Rooftop 5 now, I don't think anyone can deny that the Rooftop 5 are on just a completely different level than all the rest of the supernova, but we're going to get to see some good stuff, and we start here with Hawkins showing up. So the Straw Sword comes, it goes right between Kid and Killer, and, they acknowledge him. They're like, Hawkins, and Kid is like, so you've come slithering out to finish us off just like a traitor would do. And Hawkins just very calmly is like, don't forget, I was betrayed by Apu too, just like you. He's like, all I did was avoid a fight that I was certain that I would lose. He's like, you did very well to survive after that, but you can't chastise me for my choices. I chose life. And Killer just goes, keep going, Kid. Don't let Big Mom go unchecked. And Killer just, I need to see a flashback with Kid and Killer, because Kid just runs away immediately. You got this. And they're all like, hey, Kid ran off. And I love just the way that Luffy has absolute trust. One of my favorite Luffy and Zoro moments is all the way back in Shell's Town. At the very, very beginning of the series, when you first meet Zoro and Luffy and Zoro meet, that moment where Helmeppo has the gun to Kobe's head, and Morgan's is standing right behind, or Axiom Morgan is standing right behind Luffy, and he, Helmeppo is like, don't move or I will shoot. And Luffy is like, all right, well, I'm going to punch you before you can shoot. And Morgan's is standing right behind. He's bringing the axe down. And Luffy just goes and punches Helmeppo. And Zoro is right there. And he blocks Morgan's attack so that Luffy can save Kobe. And it is absolute trust. I love that moment so much because it is absolute trust that Zoro is going to save him. There's no communication. There's no, Zoro, take care of this while I take care of that. Luffy just goes. He just acts because he trusts that Zoro will be there. And we see this right now with Kid just 100% trusting Killer to have this. And he runs off. And Hawkins goes Straw Man. And I think this is the first time we've seen Straw Man since that moment back on Sabaody when all the supernovas were fleeing from Kizaru. and like the Navy and stuff. And so he goes straw man and is like, I appreciate that. You know, I could not have beaten both of you. And dude, the banter between the two of them here in this chapter is so good. And so Killer is like, you know, at least you know your role here. You play a good lapdog. And Hawkins, his straw man is huge. And we get this awesome panel of like Killer, and he just looks so tiny, and Hawkins just in this huge straw man form, and he's like, call me whatever you like. Your chances of dying here are 92%. Poor Hitokiri Kamazo. And Killer just goes, more fortune telling? Well, fortune favors the bold. Fwa fwa fwa. And Hawkins is like, best of luck to you, Killer. And Killer just goes, go to hell. I don't need a single ounce of your luck. And dude, I am so hyped for this. I know that we've been setting up all these fights, and it really feels like Oda has a lot that he needs to take care of fights-wise, because, you know, we've got now... I'm not even going to go through the list because I know I'm going to leave people out. But we have so many fights going on all across this island. And it's like, I want to see all of them play out. I really do. But, like, it's just going to... Like, there's so much... I'm, like, kind of worried about, like, how much we're actually going to be able to see. But this is a fight I never anticipated that this fight was happening. Hawkins versus Killer. But I cannot wait to see it. And I love the line there. And, like, granted, it's a Hawkins prediction. And so far, like, when have we seen Hawkins' predictions really come to fruition? But the fact that he's saying that Killer has a 92% chance at dying here, like, I don't know. Like, is Killer gonna die? I mean, if Killer dies, that's gonna be great character development, I guess, for Kid. But I kind of don't want to see Killer die, because I feel like... God, if I say this, I'm gonna get absolutely roasted. But I kind of feel like, much in the way that Killer is like a Kid is a rival to Luffy, I feel like Killer almost could be like a rival to Zoro in some ways. And I feel like that's the way that they set it up, because, like, it was very clear that, like, Kid was gonna, you know, back when we met them in Sabaody, it was very clear that Kid was gonna be like Luffy's rival, because he was the only supernova with a bounty higher. And you know, the same thing, like, Kid and Zoro were the only two supernovas who weren't captains. They were first mates, and they were also in the supernova league with their captain. But yeah, I mean, I guess we could use Killer's death as, like, a vehicle to have Kid awaken Conqueror's Haki, but we already know that he can use Conqueror's Haki, but, like, I guess as, like, a Haki bloom, I guess, you know, if he finds out the Killer died, but I don't feel like sacrificing Killer is worth that, and I feel like just, like, a fight with Big Mom could have him figure it out, much in the way that Luffy figured it out, like... But yeah, I don't know. The future of Killer is up in the air, but one thing is for certain, that fight is going to be great. And now we cut down to the second floor. We're checking back in with the best trio on Onigashima right now, which is Usopp, Nami, and Tama. And they are riding on the back of Komichio, and page 1, in his full, you know, Spinosaur form, he jumps onto the back of Komichio, and they're yelling out, and I just gotta say, before we get into this, dude, Usopp is a shining character in this arc, but they start freaking out, or not in this arc, in this chapter specifically, but, you know, he jumps up onto the back, and they're, like, yelling, like, you know, the Dino Man jumped on the tail, and Usopp is kind of, like, trying to shoot off some stuff at him, and he's like, God, what is it going to take to knock him out? Like, how many shots is he going to take? His toughness is out of this world. And page 1 is huffing, and he's like, but when are you finally going to give up? You know, like, my toughness is out of this world, but, like, when are you guys going to give up? And Usopp and Nami's got tears streaming down her face, but they're just yelling, like, never, we're not dying here. Get off, you big lizard. Get out of here. And Nami's, like, yelling, like, aim for the weak spots, Usopp. Get him in his temple, his jaw, his Adam's apple, the solar plexus. Go for his eyes, his nostrils. And they're just, like, beating the crap out of page 1, who's just holding on to the back of Komichio. And, Tama is like, you know, hang in there, like, we're almost there, like, if we can just reach the stage in the open area, I can give a command to all of the enemy fighters that Horsalina, you know, Speed, helped feed the millet dumplings to. And Tama says something that kind of makes me worry here a little bit, and I don't think Oda's going to kill off a kid. But she yells out, like, if they all join our side, then my job is done here. As long as I can help out, I don't care what happens to me. We just got to get to the stage. And this is, like, a little bit concerning to me. I have seen some theories, like I said, I've seen some theories online that, like, maybe Oda's going to try and do, like, a fake out death with Tama to kind of, like, like maybe that's going to be the tragedy, is that Tama is going to go down in the process of like doing all this stuff to help the cause, but I don't think so. I don't know. Maybe Oda will do it, but he's definitely not killing Tama. Like that she is safe. But so Nami is like, don't be ridiculous, Tama. Like me and this old guy are here to protect you. And Usopp's like, what are you talking about? I'm only 19. Like, I'm not an old man. And Tama's just like, I really can't go on much longer. Like, I'm scared. I'm really, really scared. And this is like, Tama has been like an MVP of this raid so far, but she is just a kid. Like, she's just a little kid. And Usopp is like yelling out, like, sorry to worry you, Tama. Like, don't worry, I'll take care of this. Like, everyone get down. Special attack, green star, firework flowers, and boom, like this giant like explosion. Looks a little bit like I think it's Kizaru has that one attack where he like is able to like shoot out light beams in like every direction, and that's a little bit like what it is here. And Nami's like, oh man, like the heat, like that it's searing, like, and Usopp is just like, well, like, I'm sorry, I don't have many close range weapons, but don't worry, like, I'm gonna take him out anyway. And then we get special attack green star, and all these things pop out of Usopp's Kabuto and like attach themselves to page 1, and page 1's like, what is going on? And then they all explode, and Usopp yells out, it's special attack green star, exploding pine cones. He's like, yes, a direct hit. And then Usopp's like yelling out, like, yeah, how do you like them cones? But then it doesn't work because page 1 is still standing. And he's like, he's on his feet again. Like, how tough are these dinosaur zones anyway? And this is where I think it's already been like a little bit established here. But of course, the benefit of being an ancient zone is just your durability and your stamina. Like, you are crazy durable. But so Usopp's like yelling out like, oh no, he's on his feet again. Like, how tough are these dinosaur zones? And page 1 is just like, I'm going to rip that nose right off. And Usopp, huge information drop here. Usopp yells out like, if only those millet dumplings worked on anything but smile users. So there we go. Tama tames Kaido is out the window. That is not a thing. The Kibidongo, the millet dumplings, whatever you want to call them, they do not work on regular Zoan users. They only work on the smiles. But then here comes Big Mom. Huge looming shot as they're running. We see Big Mom walking. She's yelling, come out, kid, looming in the background. Like, it looks like something out of like a kaiju film. Like, just this huge beast all over the horizon. And Usopp and Nami are like yelling. They have like these dead look in their eyes. And Tama's just like, Big Mom? And, Big Mom notices them. And it's like, it's you, the cat burglar, and the one with the long nose, your Straw Hats crewmates. And they're screaming. And then Tama is just like, hi, Olin. Hi, Because Tama, she doesn't fear Big Mom because she only met Big Mom in amnesia mode. And Big Mom is just like, if it isn't Otama, what are you doing here in such a dangerous place? And Prometheus is like kind of freaking out right now because, and this is, when I said earlier that I had something that like I really didn't like about this arc, it was this. It was all of this. And I'm going to talk about what happened, and then I'll talk about how I felt about it initially, and I'll talk about why I don't think it's that bad now that I've like marinated on it a little bit, and I have come around to it. But so Big Mom is like, if it isn't Tama, what are you doing here in such a dangerous place? And Prometheus is like, she goes into mother mode every now and again whenever she sees little children. And Tama is just like, I was worried about you, Olin. You just up and left Udon all of a sudden. And, Usopp and Nami are like, hold on, wait a second, Tama, are you friends with Big Mom? Like, and, Big Mom, like, gets down, she's got this big smile on her face, she's like, thanks for your help while my memory was lost, Otama, and Tama's like, so you remembered everything, like, that's great, and Big Mom's like, yeah, like, I'd never forget how that busybody Otsuru, like, from that little grimy Okabore town, like, took me in, and I'll never forget the tasty flavor of that tiny little serving of Oshiruko, and, Tama gets really, like, somber here, and is like, and she's like, what? And she's like, Okabore town isn't there anymore. And Big Mom's like, it's not. And Thomas says, the people there lied and said that they ate all the food that the samurai gave them the night before the big raid. So Kaido's followers burned it down to the ground. And we get to see like the little flashback of Hold'em, in Okabore town, just yelling out like, they're all traitors, burn them in their houses, and like the fire going. And Big Mom is like, what? And we start seeing those flashbacks from when she had her amnesia. we see Otsuru saying, like, I'm sorry, Olin, that's all I have. And then the little serving of Oshiruko, like, it's sweet and tasty. And then when they put up, like, her hair and, like, made her Olin and stuff, them saying, like, oh, how cute, you look great. And then, once again, that flashback of the entire town on fire, just execute the entire town, burn it to the ground. And Tama's, like, holding back tears here. And Big Mom is pissed. And she goes, Kaido's followers did that to the town that was so nice to me? And then page 1 starts running in, and it's like, here comes the dinosaur man, and they're yelling, like, go away, we're in the middle of something. And page 1, like, yells out, and it's like, Big Mom, perfect timing, don't let them get past you. And Tama's, like, yelling out, like, run, Komichio. And page 1, like, comes out, he's got his mouth open, he's about to snap down on them. And, he's about to, like, snap down on them, and Big Mom just starts saying, don't you know that even in the cruel world of pirates, and she just conquers Haki up her fist and blasts page 1 with a huge fist, huge blast of Conqueror's Haki, and she just yells out, there's still a code of honor, you clowns. Even in the cruel world of pirates, there's still a code of honor. And we see page 1 go down hard. I think he might be done. Just a little bit. He might be done. But I don't want to say that. I'll talk about it. But so all the Beast Pirates are reacting to this. Like page 1, and then Kid hears this and goes, sounds like Big Mom's over there. And then Zeus hears this and goes, oh, it's Mama. She's still alive. And then we see Ulti. This is where the chapter ends. Ulti. She goes, Pei. Uh-oh, it's Lady Ulti, as they say. And that's where the chapter ends. That's it for this chapter. Next chapter comes out May 9th. Because Jump is on break. But yeah, okay. Let's talk about this because there's a lot that happens in this last chapter. So, Kid is now aware of Big Mom's location. So, I 100% I am locking it in that Kid versus Big Mom is happening. I really believe that that fight is still happening. I believe that Kid is going to learn a little bit about how to utilize Conqueror's Haki, similar to the way that Luffy is. Up on top of the roof. I don't know if he's going to end up being as advanced with it as Luffy is going to be by the end of this arc, but he's definitely, I think, going to learn how to do that because it's a power-up arc for everybody. And I'm sorry, I really don't believe that right now Kid can take down Big Mom the way that he is, but if he learns how to utilize Conqueror's Haki a little bit, I think he can. Zeus knows where Big Mom is. Zeus is going to go running to Big Mom, is going to find out that Big Mom replaced him. Guess who's right there, waiting with open arms to take him back? Nami. And we already know that Nami is trying to find stronger lightning to take down Ulti. So now she's going to have Zeus back. That fight can actually happen. Big Mom's going to be too distracted with Kid to keep interfering with Ulti. Ulti's pissed now because page 1's down. So Nami's going to have that moment now. She's getting her upgrade back. That's her upgrade for the arc. Luffy got Conqueror's Haki coding. Zoro is confirmed Conqueror's Haki now. Nami's going to be getting Zeus back. Sanji's got the raid suit. Usopp's got to get some kind of upgrade in this arc. But everyone's getting upgrades. Wano is upgrade arc. Everyone's going through the roof. So that fight's happening. Ulti's also here. But now let's talk about this Big Mom stuff because I hated this. I hated this so much because my first gut feeling was that I was like, oh, God, they're going to make Big Mom turn and she's going to be on the side of the Allied forces. And I don't like that because I feel like there's too much that has been set up already in the story with Big Mom and Luffy in this conflict that they have. She can't come to the Allied side. She's never going to ally with the Straw Hats. It's just not going to happen. And I honestly feel like it means more. Like, the whole point of this arc, and we've even had these check-ins, like, even the Navy, like, or the Marines, they're all worried about this alliance. Like, this is the greatest pirate alliance. They said that at the beginning. Big Mom and Kaido, 2 Emperors of the Sea, teaming up. Kaido's going down, Big Mom's going down. They both have to go down in this arc. So when this first happened, I was very gut instinct reaction. I was like, why? This sucks. But I gave myself some time to think on it. It's not that bad. It's really not that bad. And it's also not out of character. A lot of people are saying, like, it doesn't make any sense. Mother mode. Like, we already saw Mother mode. that was already established. It was a thing. We saw it back in Whole Cake with that like little kid. I think the kid's name was like Charlotte Anana or whatever. I don't know, but we saw that. It's already established. Like it's not totally out of the realms of whatever. Her remembering what happened in Amnesia. When she was in her amnesia, or her getting upset that like this town went down. Big Mom is all about food. All about food. So like someone hurt someone who gave her food. You want to get to Big Mom's heart, you give her food. So it's not that out of pocket to think that like she would be upset by finding out that the people who helped her and fed her are now like destroyed and are gone, and that whole town is gone. Like, of course she's going to be upset about that. She loves food. Like, that is how she measures like people. And like, it's still Big Mom. Like, notice she called Suru a busybody. She called Okabore Town grimy. She was insulting how small of a serving of Oshiruko she got. But still, she appreciates it, you know? And the thing about Big Mom is like a child. Like, she has like the mental capability of like a child. So it's not really out of the realm of capabilities for her to just act however she feels in a certain instant. Like, if there's any character that Oda can do that with, besides Luffy, because Luffy is 100% gut instinct, whatever he feels is right, he does, it's Big Mom, because Big Mom is just like, whatever I feel like doing, I can, and I will. It's not like, so she does it. So it's really not that bad. I'm alright with it. It's not like the greatest thing in the world, but like I just said when I was talking about Kid, Big Mom is not going to ally with them because Big Mom is going to be too busy fighting Kid. That fight is happening. And I do think that Kid is going to end up taking down Big Mom. Or maybe, Big Mom, even if she doesn't get taken down, I have theorized that maybe Big Mom's going down on Elbaf. But who knows? We'll see. But she's not joining the Allied forces. She's kind of just like a Deus Ex, to come in. Deus Ex Machina. Like, just coming in to save them when they need to, but she's also alerting everyone to her presence. She's now there so that Zeus can show up to be disappointed and upset that he was replaced, to then run into Nami's arms, and then also she alerted Kid to her presence, so that fight's gonna happen. So yeah, it's not too bad. That's what I really think is gonna happen next chapter. Like, I don't know, because Oda's been jumping all over the place, so I don't know if we're gonna stay here with Big Mom. I also don't think the page 1 is down for the count. I don't know. He might be. He really might be, because he did take a Conqueror's Haki coated fist, like, from a Yonko, from Big Mom. So it's like, could he be down? Yeah. I don't want him to, because I want Usopp to have, like, a fight. I want Usopp to figure out how to do it. I do still think that Nami versus Ulti is going to happen, but I really wanted that fight to be Nami and Ulti, or Nami and Usopp versus Page 1 and Ulti, and not just Nami and Usopp versus Ulti. But it's neither here nor there. I thought this chapter was really good. I did. The whole stuff with Killer and Hawkins, like, dude, I'm so stoked for that. I think we might check back in with Zoro and Law in the next chapter, because I really think that they both have more to do in this arc. A lot of people think that Zoro's still going back up to the rooftop. I think Zoro's done on the rooftop, but he's not done. He's not done there. I think that maybe I've been hearing that like Marco is gonna heal Zoro. That's what people are thinking. Marco's gonna heal Zoro, and then maybe Zoro is going to go off and either help, meet up with Hiyori, because remember that silhouette is still out there. It could be Toki, it could be Hiyori. I feel like at this point, like, I originally thought it was Toki, but I feel like at this point it's more and more likely that it is Hiyori, especially with all these things that have been being set up with Orochi. He might meet up with Hiyori, and the two of them might take down Orochi, or some other people are theorizing that because Queen is now busy with Chopper, it kind of leaves Marco and King on their own, and maybe, with Perospero trying to come in, maybe Marco's fight is going to end up being with Perospero, and Zoro is going to end up taking on King, or Law is going to take on King. I don't know, but yeah, there's still fights. There's still fights that need to be set up. Law and Zoro are not out here. I think we need to definitely start setting up everyone's fights. Everyone's like final fights. And that needs to happen soon, very soon, because Act 3 I think needs to end soon. I think it does. And then we're gonna move into Act 4, which is gonna be all the fights are gonna happen. But yeah, with that being said, dude, let me know. Let me know what you guys thought about the chapter, because I liked it. Let me know specifically what you thought about the Big Mom stuff. Try and keep it positive. Try and keep it positive. Remember what I said. I was super against it, but I let it marinate a little bit, and I thought about it, and I don't think it's that bad. But let me know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. If you guys like this video, go ahead and like it, and if you like me and you like these reviews, go ahead and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a single review. I also review My Hero Academia. I'm thinking about putting out a couple more series. I don't know when those are going to start, but you know, I'm kind of busy with my schedule right now, just covering these 2 series. So who knows if those are going to come out or when they're going to come out. But yeah, subscribe so you don't miss that stuff, and that would honestly just mean the world to me. But thank you guys so much for watching. I've been David. This has been One Piece chapter 1011. Have a great day, and I will see you guys in chapter 1012.